Now, before we begin to tackle the ins and outs of Copilots, let's take a step back for a moment and ask the question, well, what is Copilot? Now, that's a very complex question and there's a lot to it. One thing you should know is that Copilot is sort of this umbrella term for a whole list of different AI systems that Microsoft is implementing into its applications and into its software. What we're focusing on today is what we call Copilot for Windows. Some people call it Copilot for Windows 11. And that's the version of Copilots that all users have access to. It's the AI Chatbot, generative AI version of Microsoft Copilot. What we mean by Gen AI or generative AI, again, not to dive too deep into that topic, but essentially what it is that it's an AI system that can create things for you. It takes knowledge from human databases, and then it's able to create things. So for example, you can ask it to craft an email for you. You can ask it to create images and designs. It can do so much. On the one hand, the way that I like to think of Copilot in terms of most of my daily use cases is sometimes I use it as a super advanced search engine. So think of what we usually would do with Google Chrome or Bing and our typical searches, but with a system that can immediately respond to us and give us a whole list of results. That's the one end. And on the other end, we use it as a more creative device, something that will produce a particular output for me. So again, drafting those emails, creating blog posts for me, designing images, getting me fitness plans, and so on and so forth. If we take a look at the screen here, the tagline for Copilot, right? Your everyday AI companion. That's a really great way to think about what this system can do for you. It's meant to be a collaborator. It's meant to work with you, to enhance your work in some ways, yes, but really without forgetting that need for your personal touch. Your AI is only as powerful as your ability to ask it for what you want. So it's really going to rely on you to work with it, ask the right questions, figure out the right prompts, and then based on that, it'll be able to give you the intended output. That's a very large conversation, and there's a lot to it. We'll talk about a bit more in depth on AI in other courses, but really just to give you that basic overview of what Copilot is. It's also important to know that there are a lot of different versions of Copilot. If we take a quick look over at Microsoft's homepage here, you'll see that we have a lot of different versions of Copilots that we can use. There's versions of Copilots for individuals. There's versions of Copilot for business. Again, what we're focusing on today is the free version of Copilot, the one that everyone has access to right away. And we'll talk a little bit about how to access Copilot in the next video. But know, for example, there's Copilot Pro and Copilot for Microsoft 365. Those are subscription-based services that have a couple of different features that we'll talk about at a later point. But that's just a general overview of what Copilot is. In the next video, we'll talk a little bit about how do we access Copilot, and then we'll really dive into the good stuff of navigating the user interface and getting deep into the features that are available to you with this free application.